Hey folks, I was lucky to pull Eventide Shadow from just a regular pack. It seems to be the chase card from Lorwyn Eclipsed. Really pleased to get it. It's a masterpiece, so about a 1 in 300 chance of getting it from a regular pack, and about 1 in 4,500 of getting the card that you want. So I've used it loads, and I just wanted to share my thoughts on it. It's black, it costs 10 mana. It's a spell card, and first thing it does is you gain X mana, where X is the total shield of supports in play. So that seems really good, but obviously you need to have, 10 plus shields to make it worth the 10 mana to cast. Then you create 5 blight gems, and I'll share right up front, they're just a pain in the ass. They stop you being able to make good matches. And then destroy each opposing support card. This effect can affect vanguards. So that seems really good, doesn't it? A board wipe for supports that Greg has, including their vanguards, seems like a really powerful card. I've used it loads. First of all, I just threw it in some decks. I've tried to build around it a little bit here by having things that make supports with lots of shields. Shout out to Razwixu for suggesting Nico and Nico's shard tokens. So I've put Aurelia in here to give me lots of card draw, because the first problem I found was if I didn't really have lots of cards in hand, then the mana I gained didn't really do anything. I didn't need it, the Eventide Shadow. So lots of draw. There's Nico, so let's move Nico to there. I wanted some conversion, so I've put Serra Sanctum in and then put lots of enchantments in to make Serra Sanctum work. And we need to wait till we get one in our hand. And that's the first problem, is that if you're relying on it for mana gains, you know what the shuffler's like. I might wait ages to get one in my hand. But luckily, Aurelia is giving us lots of draw, so don't think we'll have to wait too long. And now Nico will start making these shard tokens. There we go. So we've already got 8 on that, and we've got a nice beefy Serra Sanctum as well. And there's our first Eventide Shadow. Right, okay. Do I need it right now? I mean, I guess the first thing is I don't need that much mana right now. Let's go anyway. Oh, I didn't get it. There we go. That's fine. So we've drawn a couple more cards thanks to Aurelia. And the Serra Sanctum is going to be, not the Serra Sanctum, the Eventide Shadow is going to be worthwhile. So it's full of mana. But now Serra Sanctum does this. Just gives us loads of mana. So there's absolutely no point playing the Eventide Shadow. Greg has one rubbish support that I'm going to kill. I'll do it anyway. Yeah, I'll do it anyway. Let's mute that one, and then hopefully that will be useful next turn. So there we go. Our net gain is 3 mana for this masterpiece spell, and we destroyed 1 support. That's kind of how a lot of my testing's gone with it. When I've used it in other decks, I don't think I've ever destroyed more than 1 support with it, in the context of the other, control that I've got going on, and I would typically have in my decks. The mana gain is kind of unreliable, and this is the next problem. You've got blight gems everywhere. So have I got a match? Yeah, I've got a white match at the top here, but the blue match I swap it with isn't going to give me any mana. That doesn't matter because we've got Eventide Shadow. So there we go. That was good. That gave me some cards in play. Yeah, when I've used it, the only time I've destroyed more than 1 support was I was playing against an Oko who had loads of gold tokens out. So actually all the destruction of the gold tokens massively benefited my opponent. But, it's taken out vanguards and other things, and that's useful to do. Let's have a look. What else can we do here? So I've got tons of shields, thanks to Nico. I've put Salvation Colossus in because it's very expensive and I haven't mastered it yet. And it gives creatures prevent damage and Berserker and stuff. So it's kind of why that's in there. It doesn't really do anything else towards the card. Yeah, let's use that just because we can. So rediscover the way is always useful. Yeah, it's a good card. I think there are probably going to be better builds. I'm really interested to see what some of the content creators do with it, and some of the really good deck builders, and how they really get the most out of it. But would I rather have um, Swarm Yard or the color identity lands down to regularly give me 8 mana every turn, or Umbral Mantle to give me 15 mana every time one of my creatures attacks or my first creature attacks? I think the answer is yes. I would rather have that. And there are lots of other ways, under City Plague and all sorts of other great cards, that I'd like to have in my hand or on the deck to do all the support destruction, that's going to really benefit from me. So, and here's the other problem. You see, I don't have one in hand, so it'd be great to have a load of, so Rediscover the Way hasn't drawn one. It'd be great to have a load of mana right now with those big cards in my hand, but I haven't drawn an Eventide Shadow. Maybe I need to think about putting it with Kylox so I can do lots of draw and it gets full mana. Some other things I can think about doing. Pardon me. Yeah. So, and this is the other thing, is by the time you've got enough shields on the deck to make it really valuable, you've got control of the game. So it's, for me, it's a kind of vanquish the horde, ruinous ultimatum kind of, you can use it if Greg does happen to get a whole ton of stuff on the board that's going to disadvantage you. You can use it as a board wipe for supports and vanguards. But it's fun. I really want to see some interesting builds around it. It just isn't as powerful as I hoped it would be. And I certainly won't put it in a coalition deck. It won't find that kind of utility play because it's just too unreliable. And there we go. So Eventide Shadow, nice masterpiece. I just don't think it's as chase as we all thought it could have been.